Hello and welcome to Soul Alchemy with Ali. Welcome back for our transmission number 2. I'm excited to have you join me for this one because we are tapping into the 12-12 portal, the 12-12 energies, and the 12th month being December. And so if you saw my video 1 in this series, you will remember I spoke about the power of the numbers, of coming from that energy of September with the 9, moving into 10 with the 1, then coming into November with the 2 ones, and that bringing us more of that stability in the new. And here we find ourselves now moving into the 12 and into 12-12 particularly. And for me, that carries a frequency, a really clear frequency of alignment, of amplification and foundation in wholeness. Now, this is just my feel, my interpretation, and the way these numbers have come forward for me. Because in my expansion in my spiritual journey, 12-12 is often signaled a completion point that's not like an ending as such, but it's more of a doorway where it's created by the meeting of 2 cycles. So think of it as you have completed enough now to step forward. It's time to take action. It's time to take inspired and aligned action. And often too, for me, I feel like the balance of the 1 and the 2 also amplifies that union of inner divine feminine and divine masculine. So showing up that those internal frequencies, those internal polarities are ready to cooperate more consciously and in unity. And so what does that mean? That means it's time to take inspired and aligned action. It means the 2 of them are working together harmoniously. So you're bringing in that flow of intuition and wisdom and ready to put that into some action and to do something with that. So it's interesting too when I connect to over my journey, and I'm talking maybe just the last 4 or 5 years, but 12-12 has always shown up for me to highlight like an anchor point. And I didn't really understand that until recently. So it has shown me, like, in seeing the numbers, I'm not just talking about the 12-12 portal. I'm talking about when you see 12-12 on the clock, or you see it on a number plate, or even 12-22 as well for me too. Those have been consistent right from the very first time I started to become aware of numbers. They do show up when I'm processing, integrating, and it's now landing. It's an anchor point. It's landed. So it's a signal, I guess, confirming that alignment with the embodiment, and that the movement part of the cycle is now available and ready because I've got that stable foundation. So I wanted to share that because I don't know if that will resonate for you. As always, please take what resonates, leave what doesn't. But that is something that has helped me understand. It's a bit of a sign, it's a validation, it's that confirmation that comes through the numbers. And 12, the number 12 often relates to our soul architecture, where the structure meets its mirror and amplifies itself. So bringing that recalibration to light body, to our essence of divinity, or our spirit, you might say, and our physical body. So bringing that coherence, So it will have, in my opinion, it will have more of an activation of clarity and inner order, and that balance and that harmony, the stability, rather than the intensity that we see sometimes with the other number frequencies. So again, that's just my take and my feel on that. But this really does feel like we are entering a phase where our gifts are feeling like less something that we're trying to seek, that we're reaching for, that are outside of us, and that they're more something that we know we have within, we've got them within, and so something we live from. And again, that amplifies that integration to action piece. And you know, if you watch the previous video, that November was very much about embodied sovereign expression for me and for my community in the Temple of the Sacred Heart. But I feel that that has continued and moved from November with our 11 to December with the 12, and then the 12-12 portal. So with that being said, coming into this portal and feeling into maybe the moments that you see the 12-12 or 12-22 or whatever combination that might show for you, that you're being offered the recognition of coherence. It's mirroring back to you that your emotional field is becoming less reactive, or your emotional and your mental field are becoming less reactive and more responsive, because your architecture, you know, the body, the light, the spirit, the architecture is holding you differently. It's holding you with more stability, with sustainability. So thereby, that is making it, or can make it, easier for you to take action, but also to build the momentum to action. Because sometimes it can feel a bit stop-start. But I think this, when we have this foundational frequency, it builds that momentum, because it creates this safe and stable and supportive place to step out from and back as often as you need, and also offers a place to rest when you need. You can rest here because it's mirroring your base foundational frequency, creating you this, I guess you might say, a platform to know that you don't have to contract all the way in, that you can still sit in the expansion, but you can rest here, or you can just take a step and come back. You can take multiple steps and keep that momentum going, but still come back onto that place. And just allow these, and I know I keep saying this word, but that's what Spirit keeps telling me, is we are finding this sustainable way to be in our embodied sovereign expression, to be embodied in a sustainable way. Essentially right now they're like, yep, you've got this, you've got this. That's kind of the energy that Spirit's bringing through and echoing in what this 12-12, the coherence, the sustainability, the stability, the foundation, the nudge to take action and keep the momentum of that action going is coming forward. You've got this. You've got this. We've got this. We've got this. So how does that feel? If you just lean into that for a moment, but how does that feel to feel as though I've got this platform from which I'm stepping out and I'm going here, but I can come back and rest here, and I don't have to go all the way back to where I started from. I'm just coming back to this point. It's like a home base, isn't it? That's what I'm seeing at the moment. It's like, oh, I've got this home base and I travel out over here. I travel out over here. Maybe I do a few steps out over here, but I've got this home base. And you know what that home base is. That's the embodied sovereign expression. That is your light body, your physical body, the physical form, in coherence. It is the spirit and the body, the spirit and physical form. It's the heaven on earth that you are. It's this vessel. It's this vessel that gives us the capability to be in the physical reality and to experience life. And so what this is building to, can you see where this is going? This is building that acceptance of being in the physical form. It's the coming into the remembering, the knowing that it's safe to be in the physical form. I can't tell you how many client sessions I have where we're working with the soul, the spirit, the presence, to bring that into alignment with the body, to bring that into connection, to bring that into remembering that this is what you came here for. And not only that, because that's foundational too, but this gets to be fun. This gets to be playful. This gets to be joyful, pleasurable, abundant. You were not actually designed to be stuck in survival, struggle, challenge. We were designed to thrive and to flourish. And so if we create this stable, safe, supportive, foundational frequency on all the levels within us, it will support our mind and the survival systems that are inbuilt and the body to allow us to meet, to create, to be in life with more ease, with more peace, with more joy, playfulness, pleasure. We will interact and engage differently. And then what happens too, as that frequency that we're putting out there amplifies, we magnetize, we create, we manifest, whatever word you want to use, more of that into our physical reality. So it's the inner affecting the outer. And so that's part of this journey as well, as I spoke about in that previous video, when we're moving through the evolutionary cycle or the death and rebirth cycle, change, transformation, whatever you want to call it, is that every time we circle around that, we make this a little bit easier for ourselves. And we get a little bit further into that foundation. We deepen that foundation and that connection. And we begin to find this space of gratitude for the blessings of life. And an understanding that every experience is for us. And that it's not, doesn't have to be good or bad. We don't have to categorize it, label it, or give it an identity. Everything is an experience in order to bring us more into this freedom, personal freedom and liberation, our sovereignty. And I want to share this, and I'm so passionate, as you can probably tell in the way this is coming through, but I'm really passionate about this because I feel like this is something that is really at the core of everything that we experience. And if we can come to understand this, if we can bring this to conscious awareness, if we can carry this seed in our field, it will allow us to soften a little more each time we're navigating an experience. We will be able to meet that experience with a little more softness and openness and understanding, and allow it to simply be what it is, and to make peace with it, to find acceptance, resolution, reconciliation, whatever might be needed. And then we can move that integration to action. We can move into more expression. And it becomes a little more seamless. And I won't sugarcoat it, because I'm walking this intensely over the last month and a half or 2 months. And there are moments I have to remind myself, this experience is happening for you. But it's getting quicker. It is getting quicker, and the turnaround time is quicker. I had an experience that occurred for me that was instrumental in showing me how powerful this is, because I could have reacted. I could have gone into a spiral. I could have let it take me back, pull me back. But I held myself and said, okay, I am willing to be really self-responsible, self-accountable, self-aware. Show me, what is it that I need to see, to feel, to know, or to be in this, because I know this is happening for me. And this may be challenging when we still carry some of that victim template. And so I would invite just a little, kind of like a caveat here, that if you're feeling resistance to this, if you're feeling some stickiness around this, are you maybe still carrying some of that victimhood? Are there parts and aspects of you that need to actually empower themselves by releasing that template and allowing themselves to step into the heart, to step back into reconciliation with the whole, the complete self, and feel empowered in that they actually have control of how they feel, of how they want to feel, of what they express, of what they do? because I know personally for me that was very confronting, because I'd sat in victimhood for many, many, many years in many ways. And it felt good. It felt good because it absolved myself of any responsibility, of any blame. And I could sit there and say, well, this is why this happens to me, and this is what this is. And you know, to a degree, I kind of went through this stage of, well, this is as good as life gets. This is as good as it gets. And like, I actually feel a little sadness about that, because that is not as good as it gets. And here I am many, many, many years later, coming to realize that and understand that. And that is why I bring this message forward, because there was such a freedom. And my heart is just open and expanding in this moment and echoing the personal freedom and liberation that came from just witnessing myself as the victim, and witnessing and acknowledging that I wanted to step out of that and I wanted to let that go. And the empowerment that rises, because yes, I get to choose, I get to create, I get to decide. So that was slightly a tangent, but for some reason Spirit brought that through. So I trust that maybe there is something that is still needing to be woven in around this for the 12-12, for the foundational energies, because remembering as well, part of the reason we go through these death and rebirth cycles is because we are shedding, releasing, letting go of identities, labels, emotions, states of being, whatever it is. It could be ancestral, could be from our own past parallel lives, but it cannot come with us where we're going. It isn't carrying us into who or serving us into our highest expression and our highest good in our sovereign divinity. So thinking about it that way as well, it's like, I want to choose to be in the highest expression of me, or the most aligned expression of me, or the fullness of my expression, whatever feels resonant. And so I need to let go of some of that baggage. You know, quite often the way that people's guides will bring this through is like seeing it as decluttering your wardrobe. It's seeing you carrying a backpack full of stones of everything that's you know, you've experienced in the past, and you keep adding stones to that, peeling off layers of clothes, like continually carrying layers of clothes. So whatever visual maybe helps you, or whatever metaphor helps you with that, but to see that it is actually freeing to let that go. And sometimes, if you've ever done a declutter of your wardrobe, and I know my ladies will know what I mean, you have to be ruthless sometimes, you know? You have to set some boundaries around it. You have to say, okay, that's been sitting there for 10 years and I've never worn it, and I don't think I'm ever going to wear it, so it needs to go. Because there's symbolism there. Can you see the symbolism of that? I am carrying something that I might need one day, but I'm not who I was 10 years ago. I'm not who I was 10 months ago. I'm not who I was 10 weeks ago, 10 days ago, 10 minutes ago. So that is likely to not be serving me where I'm stepping into, and who I am becoming, and who I am. And this is what we are really, what's being drilled into us, is what Spirit's saying right now. It's being drilled into us this year. And, you know, it can be a little bit overwhelming. It can be taxing, and it can be heavy going. But see how if you see the light of this, you bring the light of this, which is allowing that cycle and that movement. And understanding that as you move into this phase, as we said, of the embodiment, the integration to action, and using things like the energy of the ones, the 11-11, 12, 12-12, 12-22, whatever combination, 2-2-2, whatever combination feels resonant for you, but feel the foundational, stable support of that frequency. And it's available to you anytime. So for the you that's maybe seeing this outside of 12-12-2025, know that you can tap into that energy. And so what we're really focusing on here is the frequency. It's not the time so much, but it is giving us it's kind of giving us some markers. It's giving us this window at the moment, which is why I refer to it, but using the essence and the frequency. And how many of us get our guidance or confirmation or validation or synchronicity through the number sequences from our team, from spirit? And this is a way to also see what that might be on a little bit of a deeper level and layer for you. Because of course we see there's a lot of broad meanings about this, but what is that saying for you? Because when are you seeing it? It could be March 2026 and you're seeing the 1212 repeating and it's like, oh, I remember what Ali said about this. I remember that this is telling me that I'm in a position now where I can take some action, build some momentum. I've got the balance there. So using this a bit more to inform you, to empower you so that you can start creating with this a little bit more proactively rather than reactively. So again, I know that's a lot. So just allowing it to settle into your field, into your body, into your awareness. And we set the intention that whatever is resonant for you, whatever you need to know will be revealed, whether that is now or at a later time. But as always, I do like to say, I'm here to empower you and support you and not tell you what to do. So take what resonates and leave what doesn't, and add your puzzle pieces, add your reflections and your shares, because I would love to know if this is serving you in some way, or what you would like to even see through these videos in this series with Soul Alchemy with Ali. And I'm just sending you so much love and 1212 blessings. Go out there. Remember, Spirit says you've got this. Go out there and take some action. Be brave. Lean into your courageous heart and take action. Be you. That's all you need to do, is just be you. So I'm sending you so much love. Dota keshan iraku samboto koshika le oto shami sati ashokoto. And I'll see you next time. Much love.